Genesis chapter 25. This chapter has a number of short pieces to it. And again, we should remember the original script, the original text didn't have chapter divisions. And so these pieces are meant to be interwoven, not just with themselves in a chapter, but with the rest of the narrative. And so let's make sure we see the overall story. I'll see if I can help. In short, here we see Abraham remarry and have more kids, 6 more. So Abraham had 8 children in total, 1 by Hagar, 1 by Sarah, and 8 through Keturah. But again, only one of these children was the child of promise, not because God didn't like the other 7, not because the other 7 were bad. God made a choice. God was working in a particular way to reveal himself. And so Abraham dies then. He's placed beside Sarah in the cave he had purchased. And we see then God's fulfillment of the promise he made to Abraham concerning Ishmael. Ishmael had 12 sons, as Jacob would, one of Isaac's children, Abraham's grandchildren. So we again see God's word also fulfilled, that they're living in hostility with their relatives. But note again in the text, it clearly says Ishmael is still a son of Abraham. As we go forward, we'll see that the descendants of Ishmael and Isaac were still to see themselves and treat one another as family. Often I think we go, well, the descendants of Ishmael were to treat Isaac's kids as family, and they didn't. I think the biblical thrust is actually Isaac's kids, who were the line of promise, should have been treating the others as family, at least who was to be the example to who. Then comes the birth of the next generation, Jacob and Esau. Or, if said in the correct birth order, Esau and Jacob. Again, a pattern's here. Rebekah, not able to have children. God intervenes. God provides. This time there is a struggle from birth, picturing the struggle that's going to happen between these 2 brothers for the rest of their lives, or at least in later years to come. The statement is made, the older is going to serve the younger, which is culturally off. The cultural pattern is the oldest gets the lion's share of the inheritance. The older calls the shots. The older will become the patriarch of the family. But from birth, before they've done anything good or evil, God is saying, the younger is going to be the one I'm going to work through. And again, Paul picks up on this in Romans 9. You can skip ahead to see how God works that out, but that'll be a much later devotional. Here, chapter 25 closes with a picture of these 2 and their character. Neither of them showing themselves in good light. Neither of them really showing themselves as hopeful candidates of being the one to undo the curse. Esau is hungry from being out hunting. Jacob's cooking stew. Hey, bro, you want some stew? Sell me your birthright. The birthright was the right to receive the blessing of the double portion of the inheritance. It was the birthright to be the patriarch of the next generation. So there's economic value, there's authority and leadership value, influence. And Esau sells it for a bowl of stew. An amazing picture of the pull of immediate gratification overriding common sense. Esau, he's ruled by his emotions. He just doesn't see value perhaps in his inheritance. But again, he's just more concerned about immediate gratification. Jacob, whose name, by the way, Jacob actually means deceiver. So if any of you listening are named Jacob, you should talk to your parents. Anyways, Jacob, his name means deceiver, and he shows himself to be that. He's acting in accordance with his identity. And he uses the opportunity here presented to swindle his brother out of something of great value for something of little value at all, and even makes him take an oath to make it legal. thought for today. Where are you tempted to take a shortcut, immediate gratification, rather than take the long view and follow God? Just something pictured in Jacob and Esau for us to reflect on. As you do that, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord be gracious to you today. And would you know his peace? God bless.